Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of Rising Light podcast that talks content creation, brings on rising stars. Although I've been lazy and not been asking people to be guests, and then when I have, people have been busy. So you know, lose lose for me, I guess. uh, within this, we try to bring on rising stars within the space anyway. Although I am going to ask a couple of the people that I've recently been talking to if they want to come on at some point. So, as per usual, I am your host, Intrepidus One, aka Trep, because nobody can say my name right. Well, a good like 80% of the population on Twitch can't say my name right. And joining me, as always, is my co-host, Enraged Kitsune, aka Kit, because again, good 80-90% of the population on Twitch can't say his name right either.
No. Hi, folks.
But yeah, we, as per usual, have a few podcast like topics that we've picked out to talk about today, ranging from Twitch things to Call of Duty things to Destiny things to Apex things.
We've got all the things.
Yeah, we'll actually be finishing up with a couple of Apex things that actually ascertain to me. Anybody who watched the previous episode will have known that literally the week after I was taking part in a tournament. So I've already covered the results on my actual like stream, but I figured fuck it, we'll cover it again on the podcast to sort of give those who don't watch my actual stream and maybe just listen on podcast platforms or watch on YouTube the same information. With that being said, let's get into our usual introduction. The first song we listened to, I realized basically that we was a little short when it came to how the auto ads work on Twitch whilst we're live. I didn't really want to start going through the podcast thing if people were here live and wanted to watch it. So I thought, fuck it, we'll play two songs. So the first song today we came into was Overlook, as you can see on screen, and part of the plan song. And the second one, my apparently, according to Spotify Wrapped this year, my favorite song this year
That's a good song.
was Shelter, the second song that we came into. But yeah, here you can see the lads in all their glory. Judging by, I think this video is like, yeah, look, 2 years old, so they're a bit more grown up now. They wouldn't, not too much would have changed, but there's the lad, part of the plan. Right here in the middle, we've got Cody, aka Rayfound, the A. And the reason I say aka Rayfound is because he does stream here on Twitch. Hasn't really done it for a while, as far as I've seen. Either that or time zones have just been different, and I've been in bed and asleep when he's gone live. But we do have a command here on my Twitch channel, which is !Cody, where you can go and follow our good friend over on Twitter. And it obviously also explains in there that you can follow the band on Twitter at POTP_band. And then, as Ronin has so graciously done for me, you've got !POTP command in chat as well, which basically gives you a link to their entire discography on Spotify and a clip there where we had Rafe on the podcast, episode 4 of season 1, asked his and the band's opinions on people using their music, whether they feel like it's people using it without permission is like stealing or whatever, or whether they like enjoy it. And long story short, they say have at it. Like, they look forward to see what people come up with. using their music, whether it's a backing track for like a montage or something, or whether it's a just background music for your streams.
And thank you for showing me up there, Ronan, with your mod prowess. Near enough 2-second delay on the Discord call, and you still managed to get it in the head.
And thank you very much for the nice as well, Ronan. But we don't have, I don't have the sound alert set up for the podcast yet.
On this, yeah.
So, without further ado, with all of the introductions out of the way and the promo, if you will, of our good friends over at Art of the Plan, let's get into the first topic. Which one is it, Kit? It's the shield mode one.
Shield mode is the first one. Yeah. So. I can't anyway. Thanks, Ronan. So Twitch have implemented Shield mode. It went live recently, and basically it's a one-click and you're done approach to reacting to an incoming hate raid or a bunch of harassment. So it's basically a preset of a load of existing things that you can do that you might not want to have on all of the time. So with Shield
like
mode,
follower only mode.
You do your follower only or sub only chat modes, your slow mode, your there's even an option to disable first time chatters. Increase the level of account security that they need to have. So they need to be have a phone number, have a verified email address, stuff like that. You might not necessarily want to have on all of the time as you're streaming, but to just have on just a quick boost to the hoops that people have to jump through to talk in your chat until it dies down and you turn it back off again and people can talk as normal. Which I think is quite nice. I think it's a nice approach because it lets us use the security measures that they've added without getting in the way of usual chatters.
Yeah, because one of the things that I personally dislike, and I get that why people do it, and I accidentally was, back when I did Destiny on my console, I was guilty of like this, but having follower only mode on like all the time. Like I get why people do it because the reason I had it on was I played Call of Duty a lot and streamed it, and like people saw red clan tags in like the older games like Ghost and Advanced Warfare, which at the time I wasn't streaming, but I like had follower only mode on prep so whenever I did end up going live using, my Twitch channel on those games, I would have to run into this. But people would see the red clan tags and just come in chat and talk shit. Like that was one of the first things they did. If they saw like a red clan tag and they beat you in a game, is they would search whatever your name was on
Twitch. You'd never at the end of it.
But yeah, red clan tags, for anybody who doesn't know, is a little bit young for Call of Duty back then. Was top level in Clan Wars, in Clan XP, which is level 25. We were also in the top 20 clans. It was like 16th, and this literally just before the final, just after the final Clan Wars went ahead. The team in 60th, who we was really close friends with, because they were also on Xbox with us. They like disbanded, so technically we would have been like 16th, 15th, whichever one it was that they were, because we carried on. So it just Clan Wars like disappeared. They stopped like putting it in a separate app. They stopped supporting it in the game, etc., etc. Like they went back to the old clan tags of like Call of Duty 4, of if you want a clan tag, you put it in. Boom, that's it. You know,
Yeah. It
essentially any
wasn't just like you have to be part of the group to have that clan
yeah,
tag.
like literally anybody could be part of FaZe because they just put it in their clan tag kind of thing. You know what I mean? Whereas the old like group things that we had in Ghosts and Advanced Warfare is you had to be like actually invited to the clan through your Call of Duty profile, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Which I wish they would bring back. To be honest, I said it going into Modern Warfare 2. If they bring it back, it would like revitalize multiplayer a lot because there were some people that would have. I know people in my clan who would have stopped playing Call of Duty completely that year in Advanced Warfare after they got to Grandmaster rank, which was like 30th prestige, like me and my
Hmm.
cousin did. Um, had Clan Wars not been a thing, do you know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm a bit out of touch with Call of Duty recently, but obviously I've got back into it since like Modern Warfare 2. But yeah,
Yeah.
like so I get why people have the follower only mode on, but at the same time, it's like the first thing that happens when somebody like, let's say you raid somebody and I'm in your chat and they've got follower only mode on, unless like the first like 5 minutes I like enjoy their vibe and then I follow and then I like talk and say, yo, I came in with Kit's raid, blah blah blah. Um, 9 times out of 10, if I just like, especially if they're playing a game I have zero interest in, like somebody that I was watching the other night raided somebody who was playing Fortnite, instantly that tab gets closed. You don't even get a opportunity to like entertain me as a viewer because I don't enjoy the game, and you know you've got a barrier for entry essentially. Do you know what I mean? Like for me, the Fortnite guy, I think it was just like the game. I don't think they had follower only mode on, but I was using it as an example because especially if I don't like the game, I'm just closing the tab. But if you add that extra, if you add that extra like barrier for entry essentially to your channel, and making people part of your community, because essentially, in the end, when it comes to a raid, you're not giving them a choice. Do you know what I mean? They've got to
Yeah.
they've got to follow you to then put the raid message to then either keep you as a follow, which is up to them, or um unfollow you. And most people will think, oh shit, I gotta be a dick. I'm gonna unfollow, and they've just thanked me for following. I'm
Hmm.
not even gonna follow in the first place. That's mainly the
Yeah.
reason why I don't like half the time don't follow people with follow only. I just like close the tab and I'm gone. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I'll wait to see if somebody else who knows the person um and has come across from the raid. So like let's say me and you uh and Ronin and and let's say you raided somebody and Ronin knew the same person, and
Hmm.
then he goes into their chat and goes, "Oh, by the way, you got follower only mode on." And they go, "Oh shit," and turn it off. Sometimes people put it on while they're not live because of the whole hate raid shit we had last year, where people were hate raiding and then reporting your channel whilst you were offline for you not doing anything about the hate raid in chat, like banning the accounts and shit.
Yeah.
So I understand, like obviously some people will put it on for that, and sometimes they'll forget. So sometimes I'll wait, but nine times out of 10, I can guarantee you, if it's a game that I don't enjoy, like Fortnite, I'm just gonna close the tab like straight away. You're not even getting an opportunity. Whereas if you haven't got follower only mode on, I might like look at your account name, like your actual main homepage for your account, and see if you play like Apex, Destiny, uh, Overwatch, Call of Duty, whatever, like any other games that I play, that I might be interested in watching you. And then even if you are playing Fortnite, but if you've played those, and especially if like in your last 5 VODs, 4 of them are like Apex, and the one that you're playing right now is Fortnite, then of course, yeah, like, I might go, okay, I'm gonna follow this person because they obviously play a lot more Apex than they do this. and they're just taking a break.
Ah, I think that's the
So
perfect time for a segue because, along with the meme nickname commands that Ronan has helpfully put in chat earlier,
yeah,
and your term there, um, our favorite hot tub meme isn't doing hot tubs as much anymore.
mm.
Yeah. Um, so Amaranth, a streamer who we've actually talked about quite a few times, she's
I'm not being funny. She's the biggest
hella quiet.
theme.
Let's see. I don't know if that's a mix with you or if that's because I'm too far from a mic. We'll find out now.
Is the biggest.
Um,
She's the biggest female streamer on the platform. Let's face it.
yeah.
Pretty much. Like you could make arguments for people like um. Oh, I was gonna say Fuzi and Valkyrie, but they moved to YouTube. But you
It's
know
only a
that
matter of
that
time
that kind
until
of
everyone's on YouTube.
friendship group, you know, the
Yeah.
offline TV friendship group. They're all like any of the girls that are part of that, like women, sorry, like um any of them are part of that. They're all like massive, like Fuzi, Valkyrie, um, Brooke. Brooke's obviously part of. Not Brooke. What's the fucking name? Is it Brooke?
I don't know. Who are you
She's
talking
part
about?
of. I'm pretty sure she's part of 100 Thieves.
That doesn't help me.
Um, I can't remember now. I think she's Symphony's
Okay.
girlfriend.
Well, you'll remember a name later. It'll come to you and it'll be just like,
I'm
oh,
pretty
of
sure
course
her
it
name
was.
is Brooke, but
Okay.
I'm not 100% certain. Anyway, someone who is anybody that's like that high in the content game, you know, 100 Thieves, offline TV, that kind of like group of like streamers, like whether it's male or female, you're gonna be pretty high up. But someone like Amaranth, who is essentially by herself, right? She is the biggest female streamer on this platform. Whether anybody likes that, Ronan, Brooke,
So there we go.
AB.
There we go. Yeah, you basically had a Brooke. Or I don't know. All
But
of
yeah,
these are way over my head, so I'm not even
but
gonna
that the
attempt.
point is, obviously, we're gonna talk about her when she does things business wise that are smart for one, and then obviously recently, as it covers in this article, in the like within the first paragraph, she talks about her. She had a secret husband. Like, obviously, we're going to talk about that when it comes out. Like, that's a interesting piece, like, to talk about.
Yeah, because there's if it even does, if we get any more details about it, because we don't necessarily need to be given more details about it.
Yeah,
But this shift towards other content does lend some credence to it.
yeah. This is the thing, though. I find it funny that the mini headline says that she denies claims that her content hasn't. She hasn't changed her content after separating from her husband. But then here it's like she's managed to take control of her life. Instead, she's looking to change direction of her content and wear
Yeah,
clothes
yeah.
on.
So that's not. Yeah, so that's a good quote. But that's what she's saying is that people are saying that like, oh, you haven't changed your content. It's just like there's the graph of her categories.
Oh, she has.
She has.
Yeah, people think
It's
she
like she's
hasn't.
saying, Weird Al take that my content hasn't changed. 90 days ago, I was doing 50% or more hot tub. Now it's like sub 10%. And I do like this tweet. I haven't clicked like on this tweet, but someone's just said that rebrand worked out, and she's like, it's not a rebrand. I don't care. I get to do what I want. Still make 7 figures a month. Life's just better. And that's the thing is that like, just because she's not doing as much hot tub content, doesn't mean that the people who came to watch it for the hot tub content, and then subsequently some of them go to like OnlyFans or whatever, aren't sticking around when she's doing other things. because otherwise she just wouldn't do those other things. There'd be no reason to. Well, there would still be reason to, but there'd be less reason to if you're going to like drop 80% of your audience. So clearly, that's not what's happening.
She might want to start a YouTube channel uploading dating vlog-like videos to Twitch. Wrong platform, love. Go to YouTube. Honestly.
Well, she might be putting them on both. Just using
Yeah,
their
maybe.
VODs on Twitch, because obviously people see them when they flick through the VODs on her channel.
Well,
And then
no, it
obviously you've
says
got
like
the whole YouTube
posting.
thing.
She's been posting them, so I assume they
Yeah.
mean that she's been uploading them.
Yeah.
And like obviously you can upload videos on Twitch as well. I just like it's pointless at this point.
Unless you already have an audience that's regularly checking your VODs.
Yeah.
Which you might be trying to capitalize on by putting them there instead of on YouTube. Which makes sense. If you've got the audience, give them the content where they are.
But yeah, I played more Overwatch than I did Hot Tub. That's never happened. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the thing as well. Like this things with like first date videos. Don't be surprised if you see XQZ popping up on her channel, joining the long line of suitors. Like, she's a good-looking lady. Like, of course she's gonna have blokes out the door, especially if they know who she is as Amaranth. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh, there you go. Who reveals why she didn't go on a date with XQC? He could have followed. All right, moving on. Call of Duty League.
Yeah, not really much of a segue to this one, but the 2023 Call of Duty League season will be exclusively live on Twitch. Streams won't be on YouTube. You might be able to find recorded content on YouTube from them. I won't see them dropping that. But the live streams of games will only be on Twitch for the coming season.
Yeah, they had a huge deal for Overwatch League and Call of Duty League.
Mm-hmm.
But I find it funny, like, I was watching the Optic game on their Twitch channel the other night. Last night. A lot of controversy around that one, by the way. We will not go into that. Long story short, EDL has a rule, but the rule in this particular circumstance was technically bullshit.
Right.
But yeah, and you could already tell that Optic was playing because there's 150k people fucking watching. But yeah, like, I just find it funny. It's like they turn around, look, yeah, Optic Texas forfeit. There you go. Long story short, there's a bug right now with one of the kill streaks.
Yeah.
And one of the enemy players on Ultra, I think they were playing, a pro by the name of Kami, went to pull out his like Predator missile and pulled out this other kill streak instead because they can't not select it.
Right.
And it
I'm
basically
just
the
gonna
bug.
question if you know you're in a league, why would you even have it equipped if you
That's what I'm
can't
saying.
use
Yeah,
it?
you can't. You
Anyway,
it's well, you can use it normally in the league like maps, but it's GA'd by the pros. Like they all agreed not to use it.
okay.
But then there's a bug as well, which obviously means that you can still use it. It just takes longer to use, basically. But basically, you pull out the tablet to open like it's the SAE because you played COD, haven't you?
Yeah.
You know the SAE like airstrike is
Yep.
that one. So they'll open
Okay.
up the tablet, and the tablet will take like 5 to 10 to 15 seconds longer to like load up, which obviously in a pro setting is a world of difference.
Yeah.
But there's Well, there was a thing with regards to the like they was like 5 seconds from capping. Scumpy called in his kill streak, was about to kill like anybody that come close to the hill. Cammy obviously tried to call in his in return and called the wrong streak. And then Tactical Rab, if you go and watch his YouTube video on it, he basically like breaks down the clip from Twitter about it, and it's basically like he does the math. It's impossible for Cammy, even if he had picked the correct kill streak, to have killed all of the members of Optic that were on the point without dying himself. Basically, Optic should have won the map, but because of the fact that it was a bug slash glitch in the game, and CDL want like a the competitive integrity to it's a replay, right? Well,
Mm-hmm.
Optic turned around and went, well, like we won, like why should we replay? And even Ultra came out and said like, look, if CDL had turned around and says, look, we know it's an issue, the developers are working on it, but we just play on. It's 2-1 to Optic. Then they would have played on. But instead, they were trying to force Optic to replay, and then Optic just turned around and went, right, well, we forfeit that map then. And then it was like, oh, okay, well, then it's 2-1 to Ultra, and then obviously being essentially checked out mentally when it comes to in a pro setting, they turned around and went, right, well, like we should have won that map, but we're not gonna win. We not won it because some stupid bug that's like beyond our control, and we, timing wise, we'd won it. um, they said like, fuck it, you know what? We just forfeit the whole series. Like we're not even gonna play the fourth map. So they ended up losing it 3-1. But
Oh,
it's like because they were going into favored side as well in the hard point in the fourth game, so they probably would have won that and won the series 3-1. But they'd rather say like fuck it, like there's no point this early on in the season.
yeah.
So
It's not like they're fighting for the last points to
yeah,
come over the
exactly.
line or anything. It's just whatever.
It's like a placement thing for
Yeah.
the first major. Oh, what they were lost like 2 points, 3 points, or whatever for the first major. They might now finish in second instead of first. Wow, you know what I mean? Like, or third instead of fifth, but whatever. I don't know. Like, the point is, they're not bothered. So
Yeah, they'll play. There's plenty more games to go around. It's
yeah,
like there are plenty
exactly.
more days in the year, although not this year because we've run out of them already because it's only December. But there are plenty more days in next year for oh god, what was her name? Emily to be live. So this streamer, this woman, has decided that she is going to go live for 2 straight years, and she has recently reached the 1 year mark. And by live for 2 straight years, I don't mean like a stream every day without missing a day. Like literally live for a full 365 and a quarter days. Obviously, like stopping the stream and starting the stream every like 46 odd hours, just so Twitch can be like, oh, you stream too long. Because it's not that she's not taking breaks from the stream; it's that the stream is just her life.
Yeah, there's like a sense of like a automatic thing with Twitch as well. Like when you see people do subathons, they have to stop and start after a certain amount of hours anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like 48 or 46.
Yeah. Well, it's 48, but people do it between 46 and 47 and a half just to like be sure.
Yeah.
But going to get food, sleeping, playing games, like she doesn't take the camera with her in the shower. Obviously, you know, she does still fit with the like a suitable attire policy and everything. But
Hmm.
for
I
everything other
saw,
than
where is
like
it? There was, I think it was
getting
the
changed and stuff, it's just like
first
yeah,
picture. Yeah, taking a shower, BRB.
yeah. But even then, you see if you scroll up slightly more from that, you see the counters at the top.
Yeah.
There's like 382 out of 730 days live, 9,157 hours,
Mental.
and the photographer in the background for BuzzFeed because this is on BuzzFeed. You know, and she even says like, you know, my life is honestly pretty boring. When are we gonna do this?
Mate, I couldn't do this. I can't do a 24
I
hour stream.
I would do this if we were doing it on a separate channel that was just like camera feeds from in a streamer house. Obviously not including things like the bathroom and stuff, but just like if everyone knew what they were getting into and they were still doing like their own streams in their own rooms or whatever, and then we'd have like just like CCTV style stuff, sort of flicking through cameras just on this other channel.
Yeah.
It's a streamer house way. Oh,
When my kids are grown up and moved that.
yes.
And bearing in mind my youngest is 5. That gives you
That's
a
going to be a
while.
while. Yeah. Plenty of time to plan it and get everything nailed down.
I mean, with my cough, I'll probably be dead by then. But yeah, like, crazy shit.
I certainly hope not. Anyway, who else is going to carry the podcast?
You?
I do the topics, you do the talking. That's our arrangement.
Ronan.
I've
Ronan.
got rooms here. Let's go.
Ronan's like, I've got rooms here, let's go. Oh, I don't think.
Conference call of D&D sessions instead of putting in Discord.
Yeah, I don't think your missus will be happy with that though, Ronan. Alright, moving on. Twitch career.
Yes. You certainly would have issues getting to do that on Twitch in Korea. We talked not too long ago. Can bring your kids and the missus. At this point, it's not even a house. It's going to be a village.
Yeah.
Just one whole interconnected village with like
What the fuck
central
is this
area where everyone
advert?
gathers. And I don't know what this advert is. You've
What
probably got a
about
different
Alan?
advert than me. I don't even have an advert. That's how good my browser is. Anyway, no. So we already talked relatively recently about Twitch in Korea and bandwidth limitations and legislation and stuff going on over there. That they were dropping stream quality down to 720p
Yeah.
peak. Now, to comply with more legislation, they're going to deprecate VODs, clips, previous broadcasts, basically anything other than the current live stream on a person's channel. So no clips, no VODs, no previous broadcasts, no highlights, can't even upload. It's just live stream and that's it.
I'm imagining it would be the same in YouTube side as well, right?
Yes, YouTube is basically if YouTube complies with this legislation, it's basically crippled in Korea. There might be a way around it for them. I doubt it.
Like, right. Tangent, right? You know, one of my epic ones, like, Trep's about to fucking
Go on. What's
blow
your
a
epic
fucking
tangent?
gasket, right? Why are fucking government putting shit like this in place? I'm basically decimating the younger generation, knowing full well there's like 90% of them want to do this kind of thing as a career going up.
Probably because
Right?
they need more than 10% of people in typical careers.
Yeah. But my point then being, right, is we still have people in typical careers here. We have people who do typical careers and then come back and do streaming like Ronin used to when he used to go live. Like, and then esports, as Ronin just put in chat, esports is mad in Korea. Like, a good like 90% of good like Asian teams have come out of South Korea. Like, I'm sorry, you are basically shooting one of your biggest exports in the fucking head. Like, might as well just turn around and go, oh, oh yeah, all this technology that the rest of the world is slowly getting better at and slowly
That's the thing, though, right? Is that like, yeah, esports
improving
is
at.
mad over
Like,
there. They've got a lot. They've probably got a lot more people in terms of percentage of the population, like online, than most other countries.
mm,
But yeah, the government needs to do more trade jobs, and I mean, I don't think it's just that. I think it's that if they want to see esports, like the tournaments and the gaming and stuff, grow the way they want it to, they need available bandwidth. And if people are busy watching videos, they're not playing games and getting good at them or doing their jobs.
my
Although you
thing
could
is though, it
say
just
that
feels
some
like
things like videos and stuff, you
yeah,
can use those to learn techniques or different strategies.
I have with Apex. Like,
Yeah.
so motherfuckers, we use it in Destiny when it comes to like where secret chests are and raids and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just honestly, it feels like a disconnect between like an older generation that are in charge of the government and a younger generation that like wants tech just and gaming and all that surrounds like content creation, gaming, and tech as a whole to progress. And meanwhile, the rest of the world's gonna progress. They're gonna let left in the dark, and like I don't know, 10 years from now, when we've got what Japan has currently got, and Japan's like I don't know, walking to the moon in a fucking sky elevator. I don't know what you know, tech tech mental.
It certainly
At this
is.
point, right? And then Korea, they'll leave Korea and they'll go like I don't know, India, and they'll be like, "Holy shit, how have you lot got this? What the fuck is this?" And it'll be like something as simple as a controller with an extra button. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's my point. Like, obviously, it's not going to be that simple. It's not going to be that thing that's like going to. But the point I'm trying to make is eventually they're going to get so behind in the tech game and
It
the
used to
content
dominate
creation,
in.
yeah, and there'll be point like this kind of thing will be the reason that they lose where they were, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's like Russia with the war on Ukraine, right? If anything, the war on in Ukraine has taught us is that Russia isn't very well prepared for war, despite saying we're this huge superpower, like we were back in World War II, and we were, we are very prepared for war. Like they clearly aren't, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like the war tech has evolved to the point where they're getting beat by a bunch of people that have got like at most 5 years army experience, and even
Hmm.
then, 9 times out of most of them are conscripts that have just turned around and gone, "Oh, I'm going to defend my own country." Like, but they've got tech from us and the Americans, the Germans, like everybody in the European bloc as well as the Americans. Like, it just goes to show, like, if you're not actively like competing, essentially, is what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and
So
innovating, like competition begets competition. Yeah. So the fact that we are allies with America doesn't necessarily mean that our tech isn't as good as America's or America's is as good as ours. Like we are constantly like having little war games to make each other better. You know what I mean? When it comes to,
American tech's weird though.
but that's
Well,
but my,
it's not weird. It's I would imagine it's similar in India and probably in Russia as well. That because a lot of their land mass and a good chunk of their population is kind of rural, they don't have good tech. But then, like in the major cities, they've got actually pretty good tech.
yeah.
It's just
But
not really.
I'm on about in this sense. I'm on about like in a war games type thing. Like um, there's a like because Americans like to go, oh well, we beat England in the war for independence, and it's like, yeah, but you forget we burnt the White House in 1812, only country to invade and successfully hold the White House. In fact, if I remember correctly, the whole story of how it became the White House is they painted it white to cover up the burn mark. Um,
Oh my god, if that's true. Oh
exactly.
wow.
I don't know whether that's
Wow.
true, but it'd be funny if it was. But we are the only country since their independence to invade and successfully hold American land, and we're allies now. Like, you know what I mean? And then so you have these Americans that are like, oh well, yeah, you might have done that, in 1812, but you haven't done anything since. It's like, if you look over like redacted, um, what's it called? Like war games, essentially scenarios. The Americans wanted to test how good their anti-nuke like aircraft capabilities were. So if you had like a nuclear bomber attacking the US, they wanted to test how quick they could get pilots in the air and the planes destroyed. Each time um in two different like versions of the same operation that we ran 8 of our bombers with like I think it was 30 fighter escort of each, basically meaning it was a total of like 150 fighters or something. 106. Like I can't remember exactly the numbers. But the point is, there wasn't a lot of us, right? And the Americans scrambled like 200 to 300 planes, and both scenarios did a bomber from the UK. If the UK was to like nuclearly try and attack America, made it through their defenses and would have hit a major city. Like they hit their target and then left before the Americans knew. So I think they managed to get 5 out of the 8 on the first one and 7 out of the 8 on the second. But the point is, both times British pilots got through the defenses. Do you know what I mean? So that's my point. Is like they are just behind a little bit, but because we're allies, they have the access to that tech as well. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent from that one, since you were just talking about tech and stuff. And I'm going to reel quickly through some of the API backend changes that are happening for Twitch.
Right.
They might not necessarily be important to you, but what you use, the developers of those will really like some of this stuff.
And for this, I'm going to switch over to the next topic after that, is the Destiny one.
Okay. So, in any time you get game information in the API, or you don't, or the developer does, it will also come back with the information about the game in IGDB. Now, it's a database of all sorts of video games. It's what the Twitch categories thing uses under the hood. When you search for a game, it finds the game.
Like
and
IMDb
basically,
for games, basically.
yeah, it's IMDb for games. It's IGDB. It's exactly the same thing. It's just instead of for movies, it's for games. And you can get all sorts of information from there. You can get information about like the publishers, the release dates, the platforms, all sorts of things from their API. And you can now correlate with their API and the Twitch API. They have a key in common. So you can just go from one to the next, just go straight to it, and there's all the information you need. Wonderful. The ways in which we get the list of currently active chatters, that is people who are watching the stream and in chat, is changing. There are about 3 or 4 different ways we do it at the moment, and none of them are really the technically correct way to do it. But we're now getting an endpoint for it, so we just basically ask Twitch who's in my chat at the moment, and they'll come back with the list. Shield mode events. So we were talking about shield mode before, like that's come in and how that works and stuff. That can be activated and deactivated in the API, and there are event sub endpoints, events for when that happens. So let's say you enable shield mode, you would be able to have that trigger an animation of like a shield effect come up over the top of your stream if you wanted to. And then you can have the shield sort of shatter when you disable it if you really want to. Just nice. It can be more subtle than that, but it could be little cues to let your usual people know what's going on, why they might not be able to chat for a couple of minutes or whatever. Twitch charity streams, the first party way to do charity streams that aren't through like Tiltify and stuff, but straight through Twitch, they're getting API endpoints and events as well. So you'll be able to have, like you do with Tiltify, you know, you get that overlay you can get with the progress bars and stuff.
Yeah.
You can see like how much has been donated and stuff, and you can get the alerts come through when people donate and how much they're donating and stuff. You'll be able to do all of that with your own overlays. That'll come from the Twitch API. Endpoints for managing tags. So let's say you have a game and you have some PvE parts of your game and you have some PvP parts of your game, and you have a Twitch integration. So you have the Twitch account linked, or you've just signed into the game with Twitch, and you want to be able to update the tags of someone's stream who's live to say, okay, they're playing PvP content when they're in the PvP side of your game. You'll be able to do that soon. We don't have an exact date on that one, but it is being worked on and is on its way. So expect that within, like, I'd probably say within the next 6 months. All of the event sub stuff, which is currently being used for like notifications and things, they currently require a webhook. So it basically means there's a server somewhere, usually run by Streamlabs or Stream Elements or whoever, that will receive all of those events, and then they'll do whatever with it and play notifications. They will now all be accessible over a piece of technology called WebSockets, which makes it a lot easier for client-side stuff to connect them. So any of your chatbots and stuff will be able to make use of those events if they decide to make use of this tech. That's gone live as well. Commands from chatbots will be handled a little bit differently. All right. So they'll still be able to do like what they do, like you put in a chat message, they'll respond to it with the content. What I mean by that is, let's say you had a raid command that your moderators or subs or whatever, or just you, let's say you wanted to be able to manage who you raid and or deciding to do a raid. Let's say you wanted to use !R instead of /raid, for example, if you literally just use it as a shortcut. You could currently, not for long though, because the bots interact with your chat via a tech called IRC, they could just send a message into chat and they'd just have the bot say /raid, whatever, and that would work if they were a mod, I think.
Yeah.
That won't work because from February 18th, chat commands over that IRC channel are being deprecated. They won't do anything. There are going to be API endpoints, if there aren't already. Some of them there are already. There are going to be actual API endpoints for issuing commands like that. So it won't happen through the chat. So hopefully what's in your chat should just be nice and clean, and you'll just have chat messages. And the last one is that the way we identify who's following who is going to be split up a little bit in the API. So at the moment we have one thing that's like get user follows. And that is just like basically tells you who's following that user and who that user is following. Well, they're both being split up into separate parts. So you would have a different place to call if you were looking for who's following me or who am I following. And I wanted to make sure I include all that because there is quite a good chunk. Yeah, separate endpoints.
Separate like numbers like on Twitter, or they're not doing that.
So separate. So at the moment, if you want to know who follows your channel in the API, you would do get user follows, and that would tell you who is following Intrepidus One and who Intrepidus One is following in the one response. In order to cut back a little on the amount of traffic that's going to and from Twitch, and to and from your service, they're splitting them up. So if you're only interested in who the followers of this channel are, say who's following Intrepidus One, you would only get back that list of who's following Intrepidus One, because you don't care who Intrepidus One follows, so they just don't send you it.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right. And that's it. I just wanted to quickly reel all those through because there might be some people who listen who find that useful, and they're all stuff that's just come through the past couple of weeks as the changes to what's going on the hood on the platform we all love to hate. Speaking of loving to hate, speaking of loving to hate, Destiny. God, I've not played that in a while. We're coming up to a new season this Tuesday, I think.
I mean, I say I haven't played it in a while. I loaded it up. Thursday, right on stream.
Was it for the cutscene?
For the cutscene.
Did you load it up just for
Right. No, this is the thing. I loaded it up expecting I don't know. This is the plan. We've got to do this, this, and this. Go and do this, like a quest, right?
Oh, yeah,
a mission or whatever.
Storyline leading up to it, and then get the cutscene.
Yeah.
In great.
I'm not even laugh. Like, I loaded it up. I started. I was like, right, where's this quest? And then the cutscene started. And I was like, I just started laughing. I just started laughing. I was like, really?
They delivered that cutscene the same way they deliver the cutscenes after World First raids.
Yeah.
Like, if you get to the end of the raid, there's your cutscene. If you didn't, next time you log in, there's your cutscene. Anyway, they've been having a couple of issues with matchmaking. There was some maintenance, and now some people just can't find games or stay in games, which doesn't bode well, considering they're going to have to go down again for Tuesday, and then have queues, and then people.
I think they said in the
they'll be able to stay in.
That it is going down on Tuesday for a bit.
Oh no! It happens at the start of every season, doesn't it? There's always like a little bit of maintenance and some queues, so we know what's coming.
Excuse your phone.
Yes, please do. I might edit that out in post. I might leave it in for authenticity. We'll find out. Right. I think that's about it for Destiny. Let's move on to other games.
Yeah. Long story short, Destiny just done fucked up.
Yeah.
But so was Apex.
yeah, it did.
So recently, there's been a lot of complaints from Apex players with this season.
Apparently, a lot more than usual because it warrants articles about it.
Yeah. So usually we complain about the usual things of the game. Is like, oh, okay, I got no audio on this team climbing up on me. Like 3 people climbing a wall, and I got 0 audio. Where the fuck is the audio respawn? That's the normal one of the complaints. Or I'm in Diamond. Why am I getting matched with Masters? Like, that's the normal complaint. Or I play ranked. I'm in gold. I play pubs. I'm playing against 3-stack master teams. What the fuck is this matchmaking? That's another complaint. Alright.
Quick play.
But recently, as somebody who plays the game a lot, I don't know what it is. My pubs feel a whole lot easier than my fucking ranked games, and I'm in plat, and I normally play at diamond. Like, I'm on this. I'm in plat, and I'm constantly getting like X master, X preds, or I'm getting current masters and preds, and they're 2 ranks above me, like easy. I mean, like, I think I've explained the ranking system for Apex before, but there's 4 tiers in plat, Plat 4, 3, 2, 1. Then you go to Diamond 4, 3, 2, 1. Then you go to Masters. And then anytime you're in Masters, you just keep gaining RP. And if you manage to break into the top 750 players for RP, RP being rank points, obviously, then you will become a Predator because you are the top
I thought it was.
750.
I thought it was top 250, or is that something else?
No, it was top 500, and then in season 8 they changed it to 750.
Okay,
It added another.
right. Maybe that's where
People
I'm getting
have,
the 250 from.
yeah, people have asked for it to go down, and maybe like region lock it so that if you have,
Oh,
uh,
I see. So let's say it'd be top 200 in your region.
yeah, or top 250, because there's mainly the main thing is like 3 regions. There's like Americas, which obviously is North and South.
Yeah.
EMEA, which is basically entirely Europe, Africa, and Middle East. And then you've got APAC, South and North, which
Yeah.
when it comes to comp, they play on separate like regions, because obviously the distance between like somewhere like Australia to somewhere like fucking Japan is massive. You're gonna have huge ping problems. So they do differentiate to make it better. But you could, as a because of the time zone thing being the same, you could
Hmm.
turn around and go the top 250 people in this particular area of the world, from like, I don't know, from like India over to New Zealand, like time zone wise.
I suppose if you do it time zone wise, it's based on when people would be playing, so they would be playing with other people who are in that bracket for.
Yeah. Well, the argument is like, if you turn around and say that area of the world, it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody has to play. Like, you have some NA pros like his Watson that play really early in the morning for them,
Right.
um, whereas a lot of the other pros might not get on till like 1, 2 in the afternoon
Mm.
for them in NA, right? So
Yeah.
by the time his Watson's like climbed, I don't know, 5, 10K RP, either playing in early morning NA lobbies or in um EMEA lobbies, because they can, like, connect to our servers. um, then they wake up and play, kind of thing. It's just
Yeah.
like, but it's like region locking it in a sense. If they turn around and went, all right, top 250 in America, it's like the top 250 in North and South. They're the Preds. And then you could then turn around and go, right, well, there's top 250 in there, top 250 EMEA, top 250 APAC. And then now we can look at the 750 and go, right, let's order them, kind of thing. Like, who would be.
Hmm.
Because it is a bit like crazy sometimes. You like go on the Pred
Yeah, because
leaderboard.
you wouldn't know if like 430 something of those top 750 are all in EMEA.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah. The article here though in question, I have seen this be tweeted out by Alpha Intel. Yeah, I thought it was, yeah. Basically, the the Christmas event that we have every year
Hmm.
got announced recently, and it plays they have the same LTM, which is limited time mode, being a mode called Winter Express, which, long story short, you have to try and capture this train that's going around one of the POIs from season 3 version of World's Edge, and it stops at like 4 different stations. I think it is. I think it's 4, might be 3. but you have to capture it a certain amount of times or kill all the other squads, and there's like 3 squads fighting it out, if I remember right, or maybe 4.
Mm.
Long story
Okay.
short, anybody who played Apex has probably played this event. Like, maybe not if you started in the like since season 11, you won't have played it, but it was before the newer events, Control and Gunrun. Winter Express was renowned as the best LTM that they've ever like repeatedly brought back. The best mode that most people enjoyed was the solos mode, which they haven't ever brought back since. So this was like second best, and then people was like, "This is the best one that they just keep bringing back." So it's not so much that people have a problem with that because obviously it's like, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, kind of thing.
Yeah,
It's the
and it
fact
is like
that
a seasonal activity.
yeah, it's the fact that this current event that they've got coming, this Wintertide,
Mm-hmm.
they're selling this. So they sell a bunch of skins, and you'll get an heirloom or heirloom skin, which is what this is, an heirloom skin for Wraith, for like $160, £160, whatever it is, right? All in all, if you don't buy things using in-game currency that you can earn throughout the year.
Right.
But the fact that there's one of these collection events every split, which is 2 a season at least, kind of gives you an idea of how much money goes into the game, right?
Yeah, because you can't really collect enough within half a
Exactly.
split.
So the problem that people have is a lot
So
of
you've got to
these.
basically just either collect all through the year and just ignore all of the other collection
Yeah,
events and hope that the one you're going for has something you want, or pay up,
yeah.
basically.
So people have disliked the video here, like this tweet that is covered, not because of really the event itself or the limited time mode. It's more the skins that are included in this event. A lot of them are recolors from previous
Oh,
skins that are in the game. One of them, even the Bloodhound one, is a recolor from a skin that we had in a battle pass last season. Like,
oh,
it's not even been a full season. You've recolored it and now are selling it. It's a bit fucking shitty. You know what I mean? Like, so this is where players have turned around and gone, look, it's just lazy. Like, it's bullshit. And so one particular player took to Reddit and basically said, let's petition them essentially to do um, Operation Fresh, New, and Different. And we used to get meta changes every season, so that's why that's on there. Skins and cosmetics are not content because, as Snipe Down so famously said, they are all for selling us new skins, but they won't put that money back into quality of life things like the servers or like giving us rotating permanent modes like LTMs that we enjoy. Um, or game modes that are staples in other things like Team Death. All of these red markers here are things that you can expect to see in the top like right hand corner of your screen right here where my mouse is if you're watching on YouTube or live on Twitch. At some point during a match of Apex because the servers are just dog shit.
I've seen the packet lost one a few times in other games. I don't play Apex well, but I would recognize that
Yeah.
symbol.
Oh, you only have to watch my stream to fucking see at least 2 of these at some point or another in one game. But yeah, so basically they're trying to get the um trying to be a peaceful way of getting Respawn and EA to listen to the player base by like making hashtags trend. Um and so they're basically saying, look, if we get this to trend, they have to see that enough of the player base want this change that they need to do it, kind of thing. Excuse me. So I'm all for it. He even says down here, look, this is a peaceful movement, not a means to harass Respawn or EA. Only given the opportunity to let them know we will not stand for our requests being ignored. Dislike videos, leave a comment of concerns, don't play the game if you want to go further, and trend the hashtag. So, there you go. That's what this is basically trying to do. Is get
So while there
Respawn
are
and
plenty,
EA to listen to us rather than just go, "Oh, you've got a problem with the game? Ah, well, here you go. Here's this new skin that's not actually new. It's just a recolor, and you have to buy all of them to get a $160 skin that you're only ever actually really going to see the arms of."
yeah.
Uh, you
So
know,
there are plenty of things that we want EA, well, Respawn and EA, to do. Sure, how much EA are actually able to do, but one of the things that they are doing is patenting new things. One of which is a collusion detection piece of software, which is going to be interesting to see how in the hell he managed to make that work. But we'll give them the benefit of the doubt for now and just see what the article says about it. So a new patent that EA has got, which they've obviously put through the patent office and all the details and stuff have gone through that, is aimed at detecting when rival players team up in games. So let's say you've got some people on opposite teams in Battlefield, for example, and they either team up to farm each other or like damage and heal, or basically lead the enemies past their teammates, around their teammates to get to an objective or something. Just basically doing things that you shouldn't really do as opponents. There is
do you want another? Do you want
suite
another
of
example of
plugins
this?
or
Because that's why I've just
extensions.
switched Steam.
Um,
Scott right here. Convergent Scott was playing with one of his friends, like as part of
in
Convergent
ranked.
in rank, and there was two teams using the same skins and characters, just rolling up on people and then boosted at the end with a mobile respawn. If you keep getting mobile respawn and mobile respawn and mobile respawn, you can just keep spawning your teammates in as long as your squad never fully dies.
Right.
So what they were doing, obviously, they ran the entire lobby down, killed everybody because there's six of them, and then at the end, they would kill two of them.
Two of them die, mobile respawn.
Yeah.
Two of the other ones die, mobile respawn. And just keep going like that.
Keep farming until they all have like, I don't know, 20 kills, and then one team would get first, one team would get second, and that's like how the system works in Apex. You get a bonus per kill, depending on where you place. And this is why people are saying we need more emphasis on placement rather than kill.
And EA decided, yeah, we'll not do that. We'll look at this instead. Which does address one issue, that exact issue, but none of the others. The thing is, this is going to be having to sift through a lot of data to identify, and I worry how reliable this is going to be.
There's also things in like VR games like Apex, such as a third party, right?
Yeah.
Like if you and me are on separate teams and Ronin's also playing, and you're fighting Ronin, and then I come in and third party, like, is that going to be caught by the collusion thing because I killed you and helped Ronin kill you? Or is it going to then turn around and go, right, well, you've got a certain amount of time to kill Ronin.
Them as well, yeah.
Because it doesn't always happen like
it
doesn't always happen like that. There might be a case where like I kill you because you was about to kill Ronin. Ronin heals and leaves quick as he fucking can because he's like, well, I've got my break. I better take it. Like,
so it might be more to do with behavioural patterns. So let's say in that scenario you've got there, I would say that's not collusion. But what would be collusion is if those two teams then didn't fire at each other again, or didn't one of them heal and run off, but they both went in the same direction without attacking each other.
Yeah.
That's obvious collusion. You can go right there, and then obviously that behavioral
I
pattern
suppose it depends
goes on.
how bit like horror it is, because in
Yeah,
the situation, like I could have I could be part of a full squad and Ronin could be by himself and he end up, ratting. And if we go in the same direction, that's an accidental thing. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. And
Like,
that's the thing is like if you've got the circle coming in, you've got to go in that direction
yeah,
away from the edge.
it'll be interesting to see how they implement it. I'm scared. I'm worried that there's going to be a bunch of, because we've already had um wrongful like bans in games like Destiny and Apex.
I
That
just
then,
hope that there is a manual team
yeah,
that goes through and goes, this is the first stage, and then it just sort of highlights things for someone to go through and go, yeah, that is, no, that isn't. And even better if it's like powered by a decently sizable AI, because every time someone assesses them and goes, no, that isn't, oh yeah, it is. It's like the captures it can learn, but it has to have the data set and constant like feedback for it to work. So eventually, if they do it like AI based and have the manual intervention team where they go, okay, yes, it is, no, it isn't, and then the manual team goes ahead and issues the plans or whatever. And those teams have enough of like a situational awareness from the data that's given, like replays and like you know stuff that they can use to actually look at the situation as a whole and go, okay, when did they come in? How long were they there? Did they go off in the same direction? Was it like was the circle coming in? Basically, all of the different variables at play,
mm,
um, and then use that to make the decision. Because it's all good and well having the manual team behind it, but if they don't have the information to make the decision, it's a dead system. Because it's not going to get the feedback to say, yeah, this was right, keep on flagging that, or no, this is wrong. Try not to flag things like that. And it's
pattern notes the system might see players removed from a match, disqualified, suspended, or banned if found in breach of fair play
yeah.
guidelines. Electronic Arts does also suggest that while the system could be implemented automatically by an AI or algorithm, it might also consider using human reviewers to check highlighted anomalies before handing out punishment.
I think they should do both.
Yeah.
I think they should have the AI, get it trained up, have it run, right, but not actually issue any of the punishments. Have the manual team reviewing and issuing the punishments, and feed that data into the AI to let it grow for a few years first.
Uh, uh. These
The
motherfuckers are
one
talking
thing,
about season 16 release date already.
yeah, but the one thing
It's
they
in
can't
February,
do,
mate. That's in
yeah,
February.
the one thing they can't do is hand it over to the AI too soon. Because if it doesn't learn enough, it will just keep issuing false bans
Yeah.
or not catch people.
Respawn was disappointed that Apex Legends fans aren't as horny as Overwatchers.
What?
The
Oh.
only like, I'm not being funny. The only like sex sells character in Apex is a Loba. Meanwhile, Overwatch has got fucking Widow,
Like,
Tracer, fucking Pharah, Ana, Diva. Like, you got a way to go before you catch up to fucking Blizzard, Respawn. Come on. Anyway, speaking of catching shit up, Apex Legends stat reveal Warzone 2 still hasn't overtaken Dead Game.
yep.
Because Why? Like
So
last week.
even with all of the hate it's getting from its players for not having things like new, it's still got the players. Uh, there's no two ways about it. People still play the game. They haven't just stopped playing Apex to play Warzone. Much to the chagrin of people who thought that would happen.
Mm.
I didn't think that would happen, let's be honest. I mean, the people who play Warzone 2 are people who played COD and the first Warzone. And even if you didn't play the first Warzone, like, they're very different. I mean, yes, they are both like battle royale games.
I mean,
but they're
I
sort
would
of
play
different
Warzone. I just,
audiences.
to me, Warzone
But would you play it regularly?
isn't COD. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
But, like
DMZ,
you play Warzone,
I
but
played
would you play
DMZ.
Warzone as often as you play Apex?
I played DMZ a lot with Matt, right?
Mhm.
To the point where I was getting off of Apex to play Warzone, DMZ Warzone with Matt.
Okay.
So in a way, yes. But after a while of doing the same thing over and over again, and then some of the missions that it gives you to do whilst you're in the DMZ being like bugged or hella reliant on certain things happening in the game is kind of boring after a while. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then also it will say like, oh, like there's some extract missions like go into the DMZ and extract with 10 flashes. That means you need 2 on your like equipment that you are like actively equipped and you just can't use them. And then like a stack of 5 stacks of 2 in your bag. Or no, 4 stacks of 2 in your bag.
Just take
Even the large
space.
bag has like what? 8 slots,
12?
I think.
8? I don't
Something
know.
like
I
that.
don't
Like
play.
it doesn't have a lot of space when you like look at it.
That's
And then
half your bag just on the
exactly
mission.
right, and then the same mission will have like extract with 6 decoy grenades and 10 smoke grenades. Like it's just stupid. You have to repeatedly go in and look. Like you have to go in and go, all right, I'm looking for flashes, and this is what I'm like. I'm gonna pick these up and these alone, kind of thing. And then you're gonna like use the extract point, get out, then go, all right, I'm going in just for smoke and get out. Like it counts most of them for your entire squad, but sometimes it's like the one me, Mac, and Ben were doing last time I played was doing one where you had to get kills with a precision airstrike, and it doesn't count my kills for Mac, and it's like precision airstrikes are a lot of cash in the game. So you think about it, you're accumulating your cash together to let somebody get one, and then all your kills don't count for everybody else. It's stupid. So
Like, I'd get it if you just like had a smaller one that was like, I don't know, 4 flashes or something.
yeah,
Like that, you could do that individually. But like something like a
and it
streak that
doesn't
costs a
tell
lot to
tell
get,
you which
and you
missions
have
are
to
which
pool
either.
together.
Like it doesn't tell you.
Oh,
It doesn't tell you. All right, this mission is cooperative. Your teammates can help you carry these stuns or whatever.
like a little sort of tag to indicate that it'd be good.
Yeah. Or
So then you'd know and you'd be able to sort of
on the
plan
one
around it.
or the one that I was on about with the precision. It's like it doesn't say, all right, these kills must be gotten individually. It doesn't say anything. It just says get this many kills with a precision airstrike. It's like, oh, so if Ben gets 5 kills with this precision airstrike, we've got 5 kills. He gets 5 kills. His bar comes up telling us he got 5 kills, like progression bar, and
Yeah.
then it doesn't come up with mine or Mac's name, and it's like we look at ours, and it still says 0. It's like, what the fuck? We had to end up going into like the DMZ like 4, 5, maybe 6 times for all 3 of us to get it completed. It was stupid, actually stupid.
Another topic that I didn't put in. It's only a small one anyway. But you talking about bugs reminded me. A new Pokemon game came out.
Oh yeah,
No guesses as to how buggy that is.
hella buggy. I've seen it.
Yeah, I mean it's a new Pokemon game. Of course, it's buggy. It's what happens every time they release a new.
Since they went to this like 3D fucking model that they've done, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they'll get them ironed out. They'll get them all ironed out eventually. Just like
Well, this is the one I saw was 1,000
Eventually.
fucking magneton, the 3 eyeballed Magnemite, all spawned on top of each other.
the last one I saw, someone went into cleared out a cave, came back out, and it just like didn't spawn them outside the cave. It put them under the floor.
Fucking hell. But yeah, fucking. We was talking about Apex, so this is where I like to take over because
Go on.
I didn't add these to the doc, so Kit hasn't got a clue.
Not that you weren't already doing all the talking anyway.
Yeah, hence my cough.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's I'm working too hard with the podcast. I've got to find some episodes where I talk more.
Here's the top 27 people from the tournament I took part in after the last podcast before this one, obviously. You might notice a little somebody got a silver medal.
Mhm.
Although my name's spelled wrong. I'm going to have to speak to Scott about that.
Ooh.
Convergent Scott, we got no, we hadn't. It's funny though because you'll
fix.
Yeah, it's funny though because you'll see like right here in game 5 going into game 6, it says 12, 12, 12 right there. Tadashi, myself, and AAA were on the same team, and we won this game.
Yeah.
I was the only person to go back to back win. And a big part of that was playing this game with Bardo, Stag, and myself, because otherwise I wouldn't have had the 30 points to get me joint second at that point with AAA. And then obviously we won game 5 and we were both joint first going into game 6, where I managed to get 1 kill for my team, and his team didn't get a kill, and we both finished 11th through 15th, which is 1 point. So
and you finished on nice.
Yeah, so I got 1 kill to get the 1 point ahead of him to make it so that I got second and he got third.
Nice.
But yeah, so Scott from Enhanced Aim here, you can see Knight maintained his never outside the top 10, so he was particularly happy. Bardo above him in 8th, that like I said I won game 4 with, is a literal pro. If you look at the EMEA region for Apex in the Pro League and look for a team called Echo, EKO, Bardo is part of that team. And after that game, I had Bardo ask me, "Are you M&K or Roller?" Because you were beaming people with that sniper. I was using the charge rifle.
Mm-hmm.
And when I told him I was controller, he was like, "That's nuts." And then proceeded for the and then him and AAA, between the two of them, for the last 2, like whilst I was waiting for the lobbies to load up for the final 2 games, proceeded to just inflate my ego, calling me things like goated and crap and amazing. Like, so there you go. To have a literal pro player say shit like that, I was fucking ecstatic. Like,
yeah, that is quite the ego stroke. That'd be good. That'd be good.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
envious. I'm never gonna get one of them.
With that being said, obviously I said about Scott being in 9th. He then retired. Like, he's only ever going to take part in any tournament if they're charity ones, and like obviously if he wants to get involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to put a team in for another tournament that's being held by Convergent coming up later this month. So asked me to be a part of it. So this Convergent friendly that's coming up on the 16th, I'm currently in the team with Scott because he has to like be part of the team for some reason. I don't know how it's gonna work with this platform.
This platform is probably just mark each game in and as the sub.
But it's me and Piku, and then we're currently waiting on AAA to say whether he wants to play or not. Because Void initially was going to be a sub, but then because we weren't sure on who was going to play, it was going to be me, Void, and Max, and then Max that works and Max can't.
Mm-hmm.
And then Scott asked AAA and Piku, and Piku got back before AAA did, and then AAA was like, "Yeah, I'll get back to you," because he was streaming earlier today.
Right. So kind of busy.
Yeah. So, as it stands right now, it might be me, Void, and Piku, but we gotta wait, find out.
Cool.
But there's something to look forward to on the 16th. So
16th, that is
the day before the next podcast.
Oh, it is. Oh, be sure to tell us a few spoils next time.
Yeah. So there you go. Let you know how it goes.
Wonderful. I look forward to that.
Yeah. Now, with that out of the way, hope you guys have enjoyed the podcast. Hope you found it somewhat informative or, interesting in some regard regarding the topics that we discussed today. We are going to raid somebody. If you're here live, please stick around. We are just going to end the stream, marker it for the end of the podcast for the podcast platforms and YouTube. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and we'll see you on the next one, which will be in 2 weeks' time, live on my Twitch channel on the 17th if you want to come by. But until then, we'll see you on the next one. Hey.